Hey everyone, so here's a wrist-free yoga video. We'll go ahead and close our eyes, centering in as we find our breath, connecting with inhale and exhale. Inhaling, we'll reach the arms to the sky. Exhale, we'll twist, looking over that right shoulder. Again, not placing any pressure on the wrist, just letting the fingers gently touch the ground. Inhale to center. Exhale, we twist, looking over the left shoulder. Doesn't need to be a deep twist. We're just looking for a little stretch, a little bend in our spine. Inhale to center. Exhale, we twist right. Breathing through the spine, up through the crown of the head. Inhale to center, arms reach tall. Exhale, we twist left. Letting the energy move through the body. Inhale to center. Exhale, we'll reach over our left ear. That right hand can go to the mat or it can just lay on top of your thigh there, depending on if you can put any weight on it or not. Inhale, reaching to center. Exhale, and we'll fold, opening that right side body, lengthening through the ribs. Inhale to center. Exhale, back over, opening that left side body. Stretching through the arm, all the way down through the hip, and as you inhale, arms reach high. Exhale to fold. Breathing through the ribs. Inhale, we come to center, hands come to the heart, closing the eyes as you take a deep breath in, deep breath out. Here we're just going to open up our chest center, so hands can come behind you if you can place any weight there. If not, you can also just do this without actually pressing into the mat. Pressing the shoulder blades back. If you'd like, you can also clasp the hands behind you. Pressing through, opening that front chest center. You're also welcome to just bring the hands behind you, reaching those fingers back without actually putting any pressure on them. And we'll inhale, hands come to heart center. Breathe deep. Opening up cat and cow, seated. Pressing through those hands behind us to open. And on the exhale, we fold and we round into a circle. Inhale, we open that chest center. Exhale and round. Continuing this movement on your own breath. Warming up the spine, warming up the arms. If this is bothering your wrist, this movement, just focus on moving your elbows and your shoulders more than your actual wrists. You can still get a nice opening throughout that whole range of motion in your shoulder. Coming back, we'll reach our hands towards the sky. Right elbow bends and the left hand just gently presses on that shoulder, on the elbow, bringing it in. You can also bring that, left hand behind, reaching up towards those fingers, or if you have a strap, or you can just reach under your clothing, onto your shirt. Stretching out the underside of that that right arm. And if this bothers your left wrist too much, we'll inhale here and we'll switch sides. If it bothers your wrist to actually pull on top of that elbow, you can just rest it right on top there. It doesn't actually have to pull. Listening to your body and what your injury is telling you it can do and can't do. We're looking for ways of lengthening, strengthening while we're dealing with these injuries. Finding motion, finding length, breathing deep. Inhale to release. Exhale, hands come to heart center. Breathe. And now we'll go ahead and come to a standing position. You can come to the front of your mat or the back. You're going to do a variation of a sun salutation. Mostly just folding, so we'll inhale to reach up, exhale, we fold forward. Inhale to rise halfway, exhale to fold. Slight bend in the knees as you press up to stand, hands reach towards the sky, exhale, hands to heart center. We'll do this a few more rounds. Inhale as you reach high, exhale to fold. Inhale, rise flat back, exhale and fold. Press through those feet, coming to stand, hands reach to the sky, exhale, hands to heart center. Continuing this on your own breath. Inhale as you reach, exhale and fold. Inhale, rise halfway, exhale, fold. Bending through the knees, press through the feet to stand, hands up to the sky, exhale, hands to heart center. Full breath. Inhale, reach, exhale, fold. Inhale, rise halfway, exhale, fold. Press through those feet to stand, hands reach to the sky, hands to heart center. Again, inhale, reaching nice and tall. Exhale as you bow forward. Inhale, lengthening through the spine. Exhale to fold. Inhale, press through those feet as you stand. And exhale, hands to come to heart center. I'm going to move my mat a little bit here. We'll do another variation. Reaching up to the sky. Exhale to fold. Inhale, reaching halfway. Exhale and fold. Pressing through those feet again to stand, arms reach up, exhale, we step back with the right foot, reaching the arms nice and tall, nice crescent pose here. Stepping forward, hand comes to heart center. Inhale, pressing back with the left foot, coming forward, hands to heart center. Inhale to reach high, exhale and fold. Inhale halfway, exhale, fold. Inhale, pressing through those feet to stand, and hands come to heart center. Doing this motion again, this variation of sun salutation, reaching high, exhaling to fold. Inhale, rise halfway, exhale, folding over those legs. Inhale, pressing to stand, reaching tall, and stepping back with that right leg, hands reach towards the sky, coming forward, hands at heart center, pressing back with that left foot, and then hands come to heart center. Inhale as you sweep the arms towards the sky, exhale to fold. Inhale to rise halfway, exhale and fold. Press through the feet to stand. I'm going to continue building this heat a little bit here. Taking a moment, and then when you're ready, inhale, exhale as you fold. Inhale to rise halfway, exhale to fold. Inhale, pressing up, stepping back with that right leg on your next breath. If you need to take a pause here, feel free. We're going to go through the same motion. You're also welcome to take an extra step or two in between that step back or the step forward into mountain pose. Whatever you need, especially with your injury, making sure that you're keeping your balance. We'll continue this momentum. Exhale to fold. Inhale as you press through the feet to stand. Reaching towards the sky. Exhale, hands to heart center. Making sure that we're being safe with our bodies, listening to what they need, what it needs. Now we're folding, and we inhale to rise halfway, exhale to fold. Inhale, press through the feet to stand. Hands to heart center. Inhale, stepping that right leg back, crescent. Stepping forward, mountain pose. Inhale, left leg reaches back. And coming forward, mountain pose. Deep breath, inhaling as you reach high, exhale to fold. Lift halfway, exhale and fold. Inhale as you come to stand, and exhale, hands to heart center. Breathe deep. Find your balance. Find your sense of calm. Focusing here on our alignment, looking where our feet and our knees are in line. We're going to come down into a chair pose. Focusing here on our low back. If you need to round that tail just a little bit, we're not actually tucking it. Want to make sure our arms are either out in front, they can be in prayer position, or they can be out along our ears. If they are out by our ears, making sure that we're pulling those shoulder blades in, keeping those shoulders within their sockets so they're not tucked up by our ears. Finding your breath, connecting with your body. Inhale to stand. Reach back, opening that heart center. Again, your arms can either just come straight back or you can clasp your hands and reach a little bit further, whatever feels best, just a gentle back bend. Hands come to heart center. Inhale and lengthen through the crown of the head. Breathe. Inhale, coming down into a chair. Again, focusing on that low back. Taking a look at our knees, making sure they're not bending over the toes. Finding length and strength through those fingers all the way down through our side body, through the hips, pressing down into the feet. Inhale, we reach up to the sky. Exhale, and we start to roll back into that gentle back bend. Opening the heart center, opening that heart chakra. Exhale's release. Inhale, reaching up to the sky. Exhale, hands to heart center. Breathing, finding your balance. Inhale, sweeping the arms up to the sky. Exhale to fold. Inhale, rise halfway. We're going to step back with our right leg, coming into a crescent. We'll twist that right foot down, left knee bends, coming into warrior two. Making sure we're pressing into the outside of that right foot, and our left thigh rotates out towards the edge of the foot. Keeping those legs nice and strong. Our balance is even between the two. Our arms reach out, lengthening through the side walls. Finding a steady gaze over that left middle finger. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale, see if you can go a little bit deeper this time. Noticing that the body is not really moving, but you're lengthening and strengthening through each and every extremity. Up through the crown of the head. Inhale, we'll reach back, peaceful warrior. Stretching that left side body again. Your hand can come down below the knee or it can just rest on your thigh, just making sure we're not putting pressure on that right knee. And coming back through warrior two. Reconnecting with the breath, with the mind. Inhale to reach back. Finding space, finding your breath. Coming back to center. Inhale, we'll lengthen both legs, rotating the opposite side. Right knee bends 90 degrees. Left leg presses down the outside of that left foot, reaches towards the mat. The right thigh rotates out. Arms extend to either side wall. The gaze comes out over that right middle finger. Finding a steady breath, a steady mind. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale, and we go a little bit deeper. Gently pushing our boundaries, keeping our body safe and in line. Listening to what it's telling you. Inhale, we'll reach back, this time opening the right side body. If you'd like, you can look underneath that right arm, or you can just look in front of you, just depending on how your neck feels. And coming back through center, finding your warrior two. Getting nice and deep. Breathing steadily. Inhale to reach back. Breathing through those side ribs. Exhale, coming up all the way. Hands come to heart center. Now we'll go ahead and heel toe our feet in. And coming to the front of the mat. We'll reach up to the sky. Exhale to fold. And then we'll come into a ragdoll. Opposite hands to opposite elbows, just letting your body move from one side to the other, releasing that low back. Finding your steady balance here. Inhale to rise halfway. Exhale, fold. Pressing through the feet to stand. Exhale, hands to heart center. Stepping back, right leg, crescent lunge. Allowing those thighs to scissor towards each other, finding strength and balance. We're going to swing that left arm out and open, finding a nice twist here. Looking over that left thumb, if that feels okay for your neck. We'll swing it back up to crescent. We'll come into a counter pose, twisting the opposite way, opening up towards our right side. Right arm swings up, we come to crescent. Both arms swing down, left keeps going as we open into that twist. Finding strength, finding balance. Inhale as we come up, finding crescent, and then back down to our counter pose twist. Breathing here. Inhale to crescent, and then stepping forward, hand comes to heart center. Reconnecting with your breath, reconnecting with your body, feeling your feet, feeling your hands at the heart. Stepping back with the left foot, coming into crescent. This side I did the opposite way so you could see, so you're welcome to start with either way. This time I'm starting with the counter pose. It's better to start with the regular side first if you can, but just so you can see it open a little bit more. Inhale to reach high into crescent. Exhale, swing that opposite hand back, looking over that thumb. Focusing on that twist coming from the abdomen and the spine, less so with your shoulders. Inhale, reaching to crescent. Exhale to find that twist. Reaching through the fingers. Inhale to crescent. Exhale to twist. Pressing through that back left heel. Lengthening through the back of that leg. And that right knee presses forward. Finding strength in the counter pose. So most of yoga is about finding our counter poses. Inhale to reach up to crescent. And exhale, step forward, hands come to heart center. Inhale, reaching high. And opening that heart center one more time here. Really lengthening through. Again, you can clasp your hands if you'd like, or just hang back. Hands come to heart center. Keep the spine nice and supple, nice and long. Deep breath as we find our calm. Inhale to reach up nice and high. Exhale, we bow forward. Inhale, rise halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale, we press to stand. Exhale, hands to heart center. Step back with our right foot again, coming into crescent. Finding a nice deep bend here, opening up into warrior two. Kind of move my mat a little bit. And then bringing that left elbow to the left thigh. Right hand reaches up and over the ear. So we come into extended side angle. Again, really focusing on keeping that left thigh externally rotating. The right arm reaches up, those fingers reach all the way from the sky, through the side body, down to the outside of the foot. Creating nice strong lines. Inhale to warrior two. Exhale, we reach back, peaceful warrior. Inhale, warrior two. And then both knees come straight. We switch the opposite side. Warrior two on the left side. Keeping those nice long lines. Externally rotating that left thigh. We come into extended side angle. You can look under that left arm if that feels okay for you, making sure again that we are really tucking that shoulder into its socket. Keeping it away from the ear. Inhale, warrior two. And reaching back, peaceful warrior. Inhale, warrior two. Exhale, we'll come to stand. We're going to lean forward, coming to the front of the mat. Inhale to reach high. Exhale to fold. Inhale, we rise halfway. Exhale and fold. Again, we'll clasp opposite hands to opposite elbows and ragdoll. Releasing the low back. Letting our spine realign, finding its neutral place. Folding forward. Inhale, we press to stand. Hands reach up to the sky and down to heart center on that exhale. Finding our feet and our balance. Inhale to reach high. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, reach. Do this a couple times. Hands to heart center. Just reconnecting, realigning with the breath. Reaching back into a slight back bend if you'd like. Hands come to heart center. Inhale and step that right leg back, crescent lunge, opening up into warrior two. Straightening the left knee. I'm going to tip over as you pull forward, coming into triangle pose. I'm going to switch sides here so you can see a little bit better. Bringing the left toes up towards you a little bit if you need, so you're not straining that left knee, or giving yourself a little bit of a micro bend in that knee, whichever feels better. Coming through warrior two. And then grabbing a block or a pillow if you'd like, especially if you have injury with your wrist. If it's not just a weight bearing, you might want to have something that you can kind of lean on. Coming into half moon. And if even this is too much for your wrist, you can just stay in warrior two. Find a nice solid foundation there. If you're in half moon, reaching that arm nice and high to the sky if that feels okay. The extended foot is also flexed. Stepping back, finding our warrior two. Coming into half moon one more time. If you're in half moon, focusing on rolling that top hip and shoulder back, opening up that front body. Finding your balance, and then stepping back, warrior two. Inhale to straighten both legs. Hands come to heart center, we'll fold forward. If you'd like, you can even open your stance a little bit more, keeping the toes pointed towards each other just slightly. Just helps to target different areas of our legs as we stretch. Inhale to rise halfway. Exhale to fold. Breathing through those shoulder blades, opening up that back body, pressing through the feet to stand. Moving your block or your pillow to the opposite side if you're going to come into half moon. Opening up to warrior two on the opposite side. Finding that nice steady balance, that steady pose. Straightening that front knee, twisting over tipping over as we come into triangle. Looking up at that top hand if that feels okay for your neck. You can also just look forward or down at the mat if you'd like. Again, picking up those toes so they're pointed back at us, keeping the knees safe. And of course here, if your wrist is not weight bearing, you could just hang that wrist in the air. Coming to warrior two. And then if you like, placing that block about 6 inches or a foot in front of the right toe. Stepping forward. Placing the hand on that prop. Left hand on the hip as you roll that hip and shoulder open. Again, if this is too much weight bearing for your wrist or if you're afraid of falling over, you can just come into warrior two and hang out here. Really focusing on what your breath is doing the longer you're in one pose. The body's probably used to moving in and out of poses pretty quickly, so if you are in warrior two, see what happens if you just stay there. For those of you who'd like to come back into half moon, pressing through, opening up that arm, either up to the sky. It can also just stay on that left hip. Lengthening through the left leg, pressing through the heel like you're pressing that wall away from you. And if you're in half moon, stepping back to warrior two. Inhale as we lengthen and strengthen. Reaching back, opening that heart center, either hands clasped behind us or just reaching back, and we'll fold forward. Finding a nice mix of opening the heart center and then opening the back of the heart center. Again, you can open that stance a little bit more if you'd like. The more you open the heart center, the easier it is for you to give love from your heart chakra. The more you open the back side of the body, the easier it is for you to accept love from others. That's why we do a lot of chest openers and shoulder openers, besides the fact that it feels good. Reaching forward as we inhale halfway, exhale and fold. Soaking in all the energy you're creating through your practice. Inhale, reaching up halfway. We're going to lunge here, keeping the outside of that left foot still on the mat. The right knee bends. You can hold onto a block or a pillow here. Some people are much more flexible than me, so you can probably go further. If this bothers your wrists, you can also just, like I'm doing here, hold on to that left knee and then rotating to the opposite side, keeping the outside of the right foot on the mat. Wrapping the arms around the left knee. Finding a little bit more of an inner thigh stretch. Opening up the hips. And then coming to center. Inhale, reaching halfway. Exhale to fold. Inhale halfway. Pressing through the feet to stand. And we'll heel toe our feet together. Now coming to the front of the mat, inhale, we'll reach high to the sky. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, reaching high. Exhale, hands to heart center. Finding that balance through the toes, through the heels. Making sure our balance is equal between the toes and heels and side to side. Finding our breath if we lost it through the practice. Inhale to reach nice and high, adding a little back bend if you'd like. Hands come to heart center. We'll go ahead and put our, come to a kneeling position. Sitting back on your feet, inhale, reaching high. I'm going to twist over towards our right side. That right arm can also keep reaching around the back, finding the left hip crease, and that left hand can reach around the front belly. Inhale to reach high. Exhale, we'll twist the opposite way. Again, hands can either just hang in the air, or that left hand can come around to the right hip crease. Right hand can come to the outside of the left hip. Inhale to reach high. Exhale, twisting to that right side. Again, in whichever variation feels best for you, for your injury. Inhale to reach high. Exhale and we twist. We're doing a lot of twists and stretching on those side bodies because often with a wrist injury we have a tendency to not use that arm as much. So we're trying to keep a little bit more of a range of motion within our elbow, within our shoulder. Inhale to reach nice and high. We'll lengthen, reaching over that left ear with the left arm. We want to make sure that we're keeping that side body open even with that injury. As long as that's okay with our doctor or physical therapist. Inhale to reach high. Exhale, fold over towards the left. Generally, it's better to keep those muscles nice and supple. It'll help our recovery instead of them being really tight. Hands to heart center. Inhale, hands reach up. We're going to do some gentle back bends. So hands can come towards your sacrum, the low back. You'll press back. Only if you are weight bearing, if it's okay for you to actually bend your wrists. If this bothers you, you can also just hang your arms behind you. Just do a little bit more of a gentle back bend. Inhale, we'll reach high. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, reach back through the spine. Again, in whatever variation feels best for you. It doesn't need to be a very deep back bend here. Again, we're just focusing on opening those shoulders, opening that chest, keeping areas of tension a little bit more loose and supple. Inhale to reach up. This time, if you'd like, you can come into camel. You're also welcome to stay in either of the other variations. So here, if you'd like, you can also just bring opposite hands to opposite shoulders and lean back in a gentle back bend. Or again, finding camel, releasing the neck if that feels okay for you. If you're in camel, really pressing forward through those hips. Opening those hip flexors, letting them move in a position they don't normally move. And we'll sit back, bringing the neck gently up. Inhale to reach the hands towards the sky. Exhale, hands to heart center. Breathe here. Noticing how your body is feeling. And we'll come to a seated position, knees still bent. We're going to come into boat pose. So here, if you'd like to use a prop, you can, but you don't have to. Depending on what way you want to use your block, if you have one, or a pillow. Focusing on just having something between our legs that we're pressing towards one another. It'll help to keep the legs engaged, keep our low core activated. You can either have bent knees, straight knees, whatever you'd like. And when you're ready, coming back into that boat pose, hands reach out towards the heels. Imagine that you're stitching those ribs together, keeping that core nice and engaged, keeping the spine long, and then releasing. Cross our legs and give ourselves a nice inhale to lengthen, and then exhale to fold forward. We've been doing a lot of back bends. We'll do a gentle forward bend here. Breathing into the back body. Inhale and we'll rise. We'll bring the block back if you had one. And if not, like I said, you can definitely do this without a block. It just targets a little bit different areas if you have something to use as a prop. Finding that boat pose, stitching those ribs together, keeping the spine supple but long. Arms and legs are strong and long. Finding a nice steady breath. And releasing the crossing opposite leg in front of the other one as you fold forward. This fold also helps to open our hip flexors a little bit as well, keeping our hip sockets nice and loose. Opening up any areas of tension, opening up any tightness in the soft tissue. Now we'll come back to a seated position. We're going to cross so our left knee is bent on the ground, right knee comes up and over. We're going to hug our right knee in, twist with our left arm, and we're going to twist so our right hand comes behind the back. It can hang in the air, it can be on the mat, or you can keep twisting, coming into a half bind with that right hand reaching towards the left hip crease. Focusing here on pressing through the heel of that left foot and also through the right hip, so we're making sure that hip is still on the ground. We're not completely sitting just on our left leg. Releasing, we'll switch. Right knee comes to the ground, left comes up and over. Wrapping the right arm around the left knee. Around the right knee. Left arm reaches back. Again, you can find that half bind if you'd like. This is just a variation on the seated twist. Focuses a little bit more intently on those deep tissues. If at any point this is bothering your knees, feel free to release it a little bit. It doesn't need to be quite so tight. It can be a gentle twist here. If you are looking for something deeper, really keep working towards that half bind. Lengthening through the crown of the head. And then releasing. Feet reach out in front of us, shaking out those legs a little bit if you'd like. And we'll inhale, reaching towards the sky. Exhale, we'll fold. And just a nice gentle fold. If you'd like, you can bend your knees. You don't have to worry about reaching your toes here. If that feels better for your back to bend your knees, you may do so. Might help to release some of the tension. I invite you here to notice how you're feeling. How does your wrist feel? How does your body feel? Is your breath steady and even? Here we'll come up. We're going to get ready for bridge pose. Feet come back towards the buttocks. Hands press into the mat and we lift the hips. If this is too much for the wrists, you can also just press through the elbows. If you're weight bearing or if you can move your wrists, you can also clasp them underneath you, rolling from side to side to tuck those shoulders under. Pressing the hips up towards the sky. And then releasing, coming to the tiptoes and then rolling spine down one vertebra at a time. Taking a moment. And when you're ready, you can come into bridge again. If you'd like, you can play around with bringing one foot out and then the other, adding a little bit more of a targeted strengthening. This targets the hip flexors, the buttocks, our core and our pelvic girdle. You can one leg out and then the other, or you can keep one out for a few counts and then switch, whatever you feel will serve you best. And when you're ready, releasing to the mat. Noticing how this feels in the body. Once again, pressing up into bridge. Doing any of the variations that we talked about before. You can also just come up on your tippy toes too. You just want something a little bit different. You might work a little bit different areas of your thighs. And then releasing. Now we'll come to an inversion. So if you do have wrist issues, come towards the wall. You're going to swing your legs up. Just let them rest there, nice and gently, letting that venous blood return a little bit easier, letting gravity work with us. If you do have movement and the ability to bear some weight in the wrists, you can come into plow, pressing through the hands as your toes reach up and over. If you need to prop yourself with your hands, you can on your back. If you're in plow, releasing for a moment. Sometimes this can be a very intense stretch if you haven't done it in a while, so it's good to give ourselves a couple times of doing this. If you're in plow and you want to play around with a shoulder stand, you can. Again, only if you're weight bearing, only if you have movement in your hands or in your wrists. Working on gentle control, or just stay in plow or legs up the wall. And then when you're ready, no matter what position you're in, releasing towards the mat. If you're at the wall, coming back to your mat. Knees bent, will cross the right ankle over the left knee, pulling that left leg in towards us, either on the outside of that left shin or underneath the left leg on the thigh. If you're not feeling much of a stretch here, you can gently press on the outside of that right knee as well, getting a little bit deeper into the side fascia. Releasing the legs, we'll switch. Left ankle comes to the right knee. Releasing any tension. Finding your breath, allowing it to be steady and even. Releasing the feet to the mat. Go ahead, if you'd like, you can grab your block again or a pillow. You can also do this without. If you want a little bit more of a chest opener before we go into Shavasana, you can bring your prop to the back side of the shoulders, allowing the head to just release behind, if that's okay for your neck. And then opening the knees up, Baddha Konasana. If this is too much for the knees, you can place props underneath. Or if you'd like, you can also just come straight into Shavasana. Again, paying attention to what your body is telling you. Listening to our bodies with intent. Allowing them to work with integrity. Being compassionate towards what we can and can't do. Noticing how the breath feels in the chest opener here. Do you feel it moving more deeply through your chest and through your lungs? If you'd like, you're also welcome to just come straight into Shavasana now, or you can stay in this reclined Baddha Konasana. Taking this moment to relax, to enjoy all the benefits of your practice today and your hard work. Allowing the mind to be still. at peace. You're welcome to stay in Shavasana as long as you like. When you're ready, rolling over to your right side, pausing here to take in all the benefits of your practice, letting it soak in through the floor, through your body. When you're ready, coming to a seated position, eyes remain closed if possible. Hands come to heart center, thumbs pressing in up towards the heart. If you'd like to take a minute to say Om 3 times, you can. Just giving yourself gratitude for your practice. Namaste.